is going on, guys? Panther here, and we are bringing you our APA Week 10 battle against Lynx Forte and the South Florida Bulus. So if you caught our battle video that just went up a couple of days ago, you will know what a important battle this is. This is the first of our 3 division battles that is separating our super tight division between A-Drive, Chase, Lynx, and myself. Yeah, we're all separated by like less than 2 games. So it is very, very important these next 3 weeks to really pick up the W's here in this one. So this was a huge battle going into it, and Lynx has an incredibly scary team that he's used very well this season. So he has that Zoroark, which leads his team in kills, first of all, which really gives my defensive core a lot of problems with his coverage moves. Obviously, it's Flamethrower for the Ferrothorn, the Dark moves for my Mew, which is kind of like the staple on my team, and then this Sludge Bomb for my Clefable, but we did not choose to bring it. So very scary there. The Victini can give my team some problems too, outside of Blastoise and like the Mega Arrow. Scizor is pretty scary for my team, but I do have checks to that. I do have Ferrothorn. Mew is faster than the Scizor, and I'm never going to die to BP at +2. I'm just going to pick it off with Flamethrower. And then I have Nidoqueen and Blastoise as well. So Scizor was fair for like the Mega Arrow and the Clef, but I can handle it with my team. I felt like the Mega Venusaur is tough for my team to deal with outside of my Mew and outside of my Mega Arrow, and then the Kecleon is a team that, or is a mon that he's liked using this season as well. I don't know too much about Kecleon, to be honest. I know he really has Spadef stat. Just probably there to get up with Stealth Rocks, and maybe just to fake out and stuff like that. And then the Quacks are probably going to be unaware for like my Calm Mind Clef or Calm Mind Mew, maybe even Nasty Plot Salazzle, but I do have the HP Grass on it. So let's go ahead and jump into things. I know just from watching some of his battle videos that he either likes to lead with the he likes to disguise Zoroark as Victini and lead with one of the 2, and we see here that is the case. So I do not know if this is Victini or if this is the Zoroark. I have my suspicions. I felt like Nidoqueen was going to be my best lead to take on the 2 of those though. So he just goes for the U-turn. If this was Teeny and he would have went for like the Zen Headbutt or Psychic Turn 1, that would have been a problem. But it did not kill Nidoqueen, and I threatened it out with the Earth Power. So I did have a feeling he was just going to pivot out, but most important thing to me is just getting my Stealth Rocks up. If we can eliminate Scizor, which is his only form of hazard removal, those rocks will be here to stay, and it's going to limit that Victini switch in, and it's also going to be able to tell me if the Victini is Victini or if it's Zoroark. So I do have kind of a unique set on this Nidoqueen. I have Super Fang and Taunt, kind of like I ran in Phantom Base earlier in the season, just to limit his team. I do have some speed on Organa here because I want to be able to do half to his big walls like this thing, or Florges or Quag, and then prevent them from being able to heal up. So we go for the Taunt, predicting the Stealth Rocks on Kecleon, and he goes out into the Mega Venusaur, presumably predicting like Superpower or something like that. We go for the Super Fang though. I didn't think the Giga Drain would do that much, so it ends up doing quite a bit to me here. So I definitely don't want to stay in and take it on because I can't 1v1 this thing. So I'm just going to go on out into my Mew because I can just roost up, take care of this thing. I'm calling my Mew. Actually, no, I'm not calling my Mew. I was going to be calling mine, but I decided on Taunt at the last minute. I didn't want to really get into any wars, and then I was really afraid of the Zoroark too. So I just Psychic here, I do believe, as he goes out into the Kecleon. I'm almost positive that I Psychic here. Yep, I Psychic, and I believe we pick up a crit actually. Yeah, we get a crit Spadef drop actually, which really sucks because I kind of wanted this to be a hex-free game. So if it was going to happen to a mon, I'm glad it happened to Kecleon or not one of the others, because Kecleon is probably his least important member on his team. So he just goes for the Fake Out just for a little bit of chip. He knows I'm not leftovers or anything like that, so I'm sure he suspects the Colbur Berry on me, which I am. I do think that he is going to either Sucker Punch me there or just knock me off. So I just roost up to get to the optimal amount of health, because he knows that I can knock him out with the Psychic. So we do play around the Sucker Punch well on this one. And now here I do fire off the Psychic hoping to try to take this thing out. But as a matter of fact, it ends up living through that SPDF drop, so that just really tells you how bulky that thing is. So he's able to get his rocks up here. Now here I kind of had to play with a 50-50 because I can Psychic knock this thing out, obviously, but it could Sucker Punch me. He also, I ran the risk of him going into like the Zerark, which he does do here on the Psychic. Better play probably would have been Click Flamethrower there on that play, but he does bring the Zerark in, and now we know for a fact it's mirroring the Victini. So I go out into my Ferrothorn. I just want to scout and see what this set is. As he goes for the U-turn, and we're able to pick up some chip on it, which is really good, really important for later in the battle too. So we pick up a little bit of chip there on that Victini, and I'm just really going out to it to scout to see if he was physical, if he was special, what exactly he was. Can't really tell just from that damage though. Then I goes out to Real Teeny, and he's free to fire off his fire type move here. So we go out into our Blastoise, and yeah, he fires off the V-Create. We see from this that it is not a boosting item, so it is not Charcoal or Band or Life Orb or anything like that. So he could be Z or he could be Scarf. I'm thinking Scarf is the most likely answer to that question, but you know, I don't know for sure yet. So he goes out into the Kecleon, sacking it off to the Stealth Rocks. So we don't have to worry about the rocks. He makes a really good play there though, because that would have blocked the Rapid Spin. But I did go out into my Ferrothorn to scout for like the Electrium or like the Energy Ball move, the Grass Knot. So I go out into Ferrothorn, which ends up being good here because he brings in Scizor, and I'm actually built for this, so he can't set up on me freely. And I knew he had ran Akka earlier in the season, so I knew he had a high chance of it being an Akka Berry. I wanted to pop it. That was my most important thing. My goal was to pop the Akka Berry. Because, like I said, Mew always comes back in and revenge kills it. So he superpowers. Down goes my Ferrothorn. So Scizor is able to take out the Ferrothorn there. So now I can go out into Mew, and I have a decision to make. He can BP me for a lot of damage, but it would cost him his Scizor, or he can try to preserve this thing by going into like Teeny or something like that, or maybe even like Quaxer. But I just go straight for the Flamethrower here because I cannot play around with the threat that is in front of me. And we are going to pick up the kill on the Scizor here with my Mew. So that is very fortunate there for us, because now we do not have to worry about that huge threat that is Mew now. So now he is out into the Zerark, and see, this kind of plays with my head a little bit here, because now I guess I'm thinking that he like he's done, like the mirroring's done, period. So that comes into play a little bit later as well. He U-turns out. I believe I just roosted because I know I can take a knockoff through Colbert, roost up, and then it's going to be doing less because of that. And yeah, so he ends up U-turning out, brings in the Real Teeny, which gives it another round of rocks, which is really good for us because those rocks are here to stay. So we're free to go out into our Blastoise now, and yeah, with the rocks plus the V-Create, you're about to see that is going to put us in some excellent range here, because it is going to pop our Mago Berry, or is it a Guave? Hugo's going to kill me if it's Mago. Please be a Guave. He's going to call me bad. That's a Guave. You can't call me bad, Hugo. So we've got the Guave Berry popped here, and I go for a Toxic here, which is I feel like I can handle Mega Venusaur. I actually go for a Roar here because I just wanted to kind of phase him. Knew he wasn't going to stay in or anything like that. And that kind of reveals that he's Scarf because he's not U-turning on me. So we end up getting Teeny again, and that's really good for us because it gives us another round of Stealth Rocks on this thing. I thought I Toxic later in the game, so stay tuned on that one. And I predict him to go for Bolt Strike here, actually, instead of me letting him just staying in and me just continually roaring him. So yeah, so I believe we go for the Super Fang here, actually. Yes, we go for Super Fang, and that picks up a lot of damage on the Mega Venusaur. One thing I didn't really think about, though, was with the taunt, and as you can see, it lives on a sliver of health there, which is unfortunate for us. I wish we would have taunted there on that play, because this thing is going to be very annoying for us to deal with. Yeah, I wish we would have done that the first time, but I guess I figured Earth Power could kill, but it looks like it was more specially defensive. But anyways, the Giga Drain is going to put us in range of our Guap. We're going to pop that one as well, get back to a nice amount of health. But what I wasn't thinking of with this taunt Super Fang play was the Giga Drain recovery. So that was a oversight on my part there. Probably should have went with like a more offensive Nidoqueen, to be completely honest, because Nidoqueen did have a pretty good matchup here. Anyways, so he's going to Giga Drain again. I know I can go into Mew here though pretty freely and just start firing off the Psychics. And I have Taunt on this thing as well to kind of limit this thing from synthesizing up on me. So I go for a big Psychic here, and as you can see, Mega Venusaur is just so fat. That's a crit, guys. That is a crit. And there's the Sludge Bomb. And the poison's huge because it cost us our Mew. I know we got the crit there, which really put him in range, but Mew can 1v1 the Venusaur, obviously. But, you know, now that, you know, basically cost me my Mew there, which is one of my only answers for this thing. So I'm forced to go out in here. I really should have clicked Pursuit here on this play. But I did not. I did not, and that was a pretty big mistake there on my part as well, because he can just go out into Quag, which looks like it's going to be his dedicated answer for this thing. And Quagsire is going to be hugely annoying because this is going to do absolutely nothing to him. I mean, it does 30% or so, but you know, still, it's not gonna be a 3-hit KO most likely. So no, it's probably going to just Scald or recover here. And either way, Blastoise is my play because I want to try to Toxic this thing. And here's where I Toxic as he goes Mega Venusaur. So he comes in with the Mega Venusaur. Roar would have been a much better play here as well because we could have put this thing in Rock's range. But he's going to be able to get a Synthesis up on me now. So this thing was actually kind of built to catch that Venusaur off guard and knock him out. I took like 50% max from a Giga Drain if it didn't have any special attack investment, and I was going to be able to Mirror Coat it back to kill it, or not kill it, but put it in, you know, if it was at full, not kill, but do a lot of damage. Anyways, I'm kind of forced to go out into Salazzle here now because I don't want to risk Aerodactyl taking rocks and a Giga Drain, and yeah, he's able to just do a lot of damage to me here on that turn, and we Sludge Wave again. And Salazzle ends up coming through. Poison Barb, Salazzle ends up coming through and knocking out the Mega Venusaur, which is a huge pain in my side lifted. But now comes the second pain in my side here, the Quagsire. So, how I talked about earlier, how I did not know it would redisguise the Zoroark. That is the Zoroark, and he has Choice Scar. I went for HP Grass there on that turn because I was like, yes, I'm going to be able to kill this thing. But no, that is not the case. So yeah, I'm really forced to go out into my Blastoise here and pray. We live on 3 by some miracle, and we end up killing this thing because it does put us in Torrent range. And that is big because it was a roll if I was not in Torrent range. But since I was in Torrent, that's going to knock him out. Now, these next few plays are pretty critical. So he goes out into now what is the real Quagsire. As we Toxic, we get a nice Toxic off on this thing, which puts this thing on a timer. And Lynx is kind of forced to make this play because he can't go out into Teeny and lock himself into one move yet. He can't lock himself into V-Create because it's going to lower his speed. Air is going to be able to kill. He can't lock himself into Volt Strike because I still have Nidoqueen around. So he is forced to go out into the Quagsire and try to 1v1 my Nidoqueen to the point where it dies, so he can go for Volt Strike with the Victini. Now he can go for Zen Headbutt, but it does not kill my Aerodactyl with the HP investment that I have, because I could freely run Adamant Aerodactyl here with like 182 HP or something like that. So as you can see, that Quake's going to do a lot to Nidoqueen, but Fizz Def Nidoqueen is paying off. Here, he is out of range of my Earth Power. That's very important. He's not at 30 HP. He's probably at 30% or so. So I do not know if I 100% kill because I do not know his investment. All of this damage has come from really toxic. So I taunt here. He cannot recover. The poison takes him down. Now we can kill with Earth Power, and now we're in shape. So that was a huge 50-50 that we won there. Because if he would have knocked, he could have knocked me out there. I could have went Aerodactyl and just killed him, but it prevented him from being able to lock himself into Bulk Strike. So that's why it's so important. If he would have Earthquaked there, he could have came back in on the following turn. If he would have Earthquaked instead of recovering, he could have came back in on the following turn and just proceeded to Bolt Strike with Victini and win the game because Nidoqueen wouldn't have been there. He can't lock himself into Bolt Strike though because of this. I have Wing Attack. It's 100% accurate. Only thing I have to watch out for is a Zen Headbutt flinch, and as you can see, we do not get flinched. So we are able to pick up a very, very close 1-0 victory over Lynx there. So that was a extremely close game that came down to that last that taunt / recover turn there. Like I said, I didn't have hardly any special attack investment with the Nidoqueen, and so he was at about 30%. I couldn't remember exactly after our battle what exactly he was at, so that is why I made that play. I was talking to Lynx after the battle, and he must have thought he was at less as well because I didn't kill from that range. He may have known that because he was Fizz Def or something. I didn't know that because I don't think I calced the Aerodactyl damage because Nidoqueen was doing nothing to his entire team with Earth Power really. It was just there as coverage to hit something. So my play 100% was always go for taunt, make sure he couldn't recover. So the earthquake, the following turn I could knock him out, because if I would have just attacked, he could have recovered up, and I know Toxic would have brought him back down, but we'd been kind of in the same position there. But either way that it worked out, I mean, it still was in a very, very tough position for him to win there because my Blastoise lived on that 75 health turn. So it was about mid-roll to a timid Zoroark. I don't know the count for the modest Zoroark if he was modest off the top of my head, but again, it was just a game of a couple of HP there on both sides. So again, very good game to you, Lynx. Good luck the last two games against Chase and Dan as you can continue your hunt for the playoffs. We play Chase next. We are at 7-3 now. We are at the top of our division because A-Drive lost to Crimson Seabat. So we are ahead by 2 differential points, I want to say, and we play Chase this upcoming week. So if we pick up a win this week, we have clinched a playoff spot, and which will allow us to kind of bring just some fun sets against A-Drive from the last week. But if we pick up the loss, it becomes a lot harder. So very, very important next week being able to go in and pick up a win. So stay tuned for that one, guys, next Sunday. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to go check out Lynx's channel. It's in the description right down below. He's in multiple leagues, P4G. I think he's in like the PGL and that new league that starts with the U, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he's a good guy. Just definitely be sure to go check him out. He has some great stuff up on his channel. He is a doc master, so go and check out. I believe he just dropped a video teaching people how to create a league document. So if you don't know how to do that and you're in a league or you're thinking about starting one, just definitely be sure to go check that out because it really gives you a lot of useful tips. But anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you.